Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. In today's video, we'll be presenting for our final project for the subject varieties in English language. This video is to carry out a study of the differential status, role, and use in English in country within cultural author and expanding circle. While conducting the research, we will be having two tasks to analysis, which is the spread of English language in the country and English as lingua franca.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is BATRISYIA. My ID number is SEC22110102, and today I will be covering varieties of English in outer circle country, which is India.
Assalamualaikum. My name is SITI AMIRAH BINTI Mama AZRUL. My SEC number is SEC22110060, and I will be presenting about variety of English in outer circle country, Philippines.
Hi, my name is Muhammad DANISH Daniel bin RAZAK, and my ID number is SEC22110039, and I'll be covering varieties of English in expanding circle, which is Egypt.
Sawasdee Krap. My name is Muhammad RAZLI. My ID number is SEC22110103, and I'll be covering about varieties of English in expanding circle country, which is Thailand.
Hi, my name is BATRISYIA, and I will be covering varieties of English in outer circle country, which is India.
So my name is BATRISYIA, and my ID number is SEC22110102. So can you tell me your name and where are you from?
I am Jachan Raut from India.
Okay, since you are from India, I am going to ask you some questions. Okay, for the first one is, can you provide a brief history of the English language in your country?
Well, it's not our original language, but when the British invasion came in our country, like 500 years ago, then we got influenced by their language, and as they ruled in our country for centuries, we got influenced by their language. That's how until 1947 we got freedom from them. That's how it happened.
Okay, so the second question is, how has the English language developed over time in your country?
It depends. Actually, when British came up, there was a lot of rulers like Lord Mountbatten, Lord Curzon, and other rulers. I don't know about. I'm not a history student, but because of them, it developed in our country, and nowadays it also evolving. English is the most spoken language in our country too, more than our native language. It is developing, and yes, will develop. Don't know till.
Okay, thank you. So the question is, what is the current state of the English language in your country, the youth English?
Youth English is quite well. Most of them, 80% of Indians are having a fluent English right now, but some of them, as they haven't got the opportunity to learn in a good institute and schools, so some of them haven't got the chance to learn English properly. But yes, most of them, as India is a developing country right now, we never lose any opportunity to learn anything. That's how it's evolving.
Okay. For the fourth question is, how do you feel about the expanding influence of the English language in your country?
Well, I'm feeling quite. We all are feeling quite well because it's a good opportunity for us to learn the English language, and India is a democratic country, so we are having a lot of religions, lot of caste, lot of other. We are having a lot of people from other countries too. So we all. Yes, we are happy. We want more knowledge in other languages too, so that we can adapt everywhere. We can learn their culture, so it will help us. We have learned a lot from the Britishers and other countries like Portuguese. That's how India got influenced. India is having a lot of things from they influence from other countries. That's what I was. If you
Okay.
will Google it.
Okay, I understand. So for the last question, which is question 5. Okay, in our country, for example, we use the word terror as someone who is good at something, even though the word terror in English means extreme fear. So can you give me 3 unique vocabularies that only your country understand, but other people don't understand it?
In India, we use bungalow is a common word. I got some more. I haven't used that. Yeah,
Okay.
like pajamas. Pajamas is a cloth. We use pajama is a Hindi word. Okay, like pajama is a Hindi words, and we use it in English too, like pajama, pajamas, and almiras. Almira means a cupboard. Cupboard. Yeah. We say in Hindi almari, and in English we said almira.
Understand?
And in Hindi we say bangla. Bangla, like bangla means a huge palace. Okay. In Hindi we say bangla, and in English we say bungalow.
Oh, yes. Understand.
And pajamas. Pajamas is a cloth. It's not. It's a t-shirt. So pajama is a cloth. It's a very what I say loose clothes. It's very good for
To sleep.
summer season. It's good for summer season. In Hindi we say pajama. Pajama. Okay. In English we say pajamas. So these are the 3 words like bungalow. In Hindi we say bangla. Second is the pajama. In English we say pajamas. And a cupboard we say in English almira. And Hindi we say almari.
Okay. Okay. I think that's all for today. Thank you for spending time to answer my questions. Thank
Good luck for your time. Bye bye.
So, for the interviewee's background, his name is Jay Chanroth, 21 years old, his nationality is Indian, he is currently a student, and he can speak Hindi and also English. For question 1, can you provide a brief history of the English language in your country? He mentioned that English was not his original language and they learned it when British came to the land around 500 years ago and they got influenced by it. For question 2, how has the English language developed over time in your country? He stated that English is the most spoken language in his country, even more popular than his native language. For question 3, what is the current state of the English language in your country? He did not mention a specific state, but he did say that 80% of Indians can speak English well, although they have not got chances yet to learn English properly at institution, they still manage to learn, for example, through the development of technologies. For question 4, how do you feel about the expanding influence of the English language in your country? He said that India got influenced by a lot of countries and it is a good opportunity for them to learn about other culture so that they can adapt everywhere when they have enough knowledge. He is also grateful to be influenced by other countries because he gets to learn about many things outside his culture. For example, Portuguese. For question 5, can you give me 3 unique vocabularies only your country understand but other people don't understand? 3 words given by him was Bangla, a huge palace. In English, they say bungalow. Second one is pajamas, which means loose clothes. In English, they say pajamas. And AMIRAH, which means cupboard. In India, they say almari. So, for the early influence, long before the British Raj, South Asian words from language like Hindi, Urdu, Malayalam, and Tamil had already made their way into foreign tongues. Ancient trade routes connected India with the world, introducing words like ginger, pepper, and indigo into English via Greek and Latin. Portuguese conquest in Goa also contribute to the flow of Indian words. For instance, mango and curry entered English through Portuguese connection. In the British colonial era, the British East India Company translated English to India in the early 17th century. English gained prominence as the official and academic language, supplanting Persian and Indian language in education, administration, trade, and business. Notably, the influential glossary Hobson Jacobs documented Anglo-Indian words and phrases, revealing their rich history. For the current scenario, India now boasts one of the largest English-speaking populations globally, with around 129 million speakers. English continues to evolve, reflecting India's impact on language and its perpetual motion across culture. In the historical context of lingua franca, during British colonial rule, English became the language of administration, education, and governance. It served as a bridge between diverse linguistic communities within India and facilitated communication across regions. English continues to play a crucial role as a lingua franca in India. It enables communication among speakers of various native languages, fostering national and international interactions. Education and employment sector, proficiency in English remains highly valued for educational and professional opportunities. Many Indian universities offer courses in English, and proficiency enhances employability. In the digital age, the rise of technology and globalization has amplified the importance of English. It is the language of the internet, business, and scientific research, connecting Indians to the world. For the challenge, while English proficiency opens doors, it can also exacerbate social inequalities. In summary, English serves as a powerful tool for communication, but balancing its benefit with inclusivity remains a challenge.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti AMIRAH binti Muhammad AZRUL. My SEC number is SEC22110060, and I will be presenting about variety of English in outer circle country, Philippines. Assalamualaikum and good evening. Today we're going to do a varieties interview with one interviewer. My name is Siti AMIRAH binti Muhammad AZRUL. My SEC number is SEC22110060, and today I am with.
Hi, good evening. I'm Aldemar Capuras. I'm from Philippines. So I've been working here in Malaysia for 8 years, and I'm also staying in KL.
Okay, so we can start the interview now. For my first question is, can you provide a brief history of the English language in your country?
In Philippines, English is based on American English. So basically, it's different from the way that we speak here in terms of grammar and some selection of words. Okay, so Philippines, right, we know that we have been colonized by American, I think around 1900s to 1940s something. So that's when they started to teach English, not formally in school. But as far as I know, like 1970s, it's become part of the curriculum already, that in school we will be doing the same other two language, both English and Filipino. So from the time, so in Philippines, starting from kindergarten or primary until the grade school, until the college or university level, English is still taught, just different, different way, of course. Like, for example, when you go to college or on business English part or professional English.
So my second question is, how has the English language developed over time in your country?
Okay, when compared to my years, like when I'm studying, because there's still no online resource that time, so we really rely on dictionary. So if you don't know some words, we always carry dictionary, right? So we check if you want to use some grammar or some words that we don't know. Yeah, so we rely on dictionary, and then we can practice or read English only on newspapers or books. Yeah, since there's no online. So compared to the present time, right? I think there are wide varieties of resources now, so they can hear from like Duolingo apps also, that you can learn English aside from school. And I think seldom that they use dictionary now, because there are a lot of online apps also, so it's easy for them.
So the English language are being developed by the source that you learn English?
So during our time, we learn English in a hard way because, and then some now also right that younger people like do some online content so they can practice English while doing their like video or TikTok something. For us during our time, we only speak in school. So when we do English class, so that's only we practice, or when we have friends also like from other countries, so that's only we practice because for us we don't during my time we don't really communicate in English in normal way. So we still use our local language or some our dialect. I think now younger people are, I think they grew up English speaking started when they are young. Yeah, so they are more like English. So majority of the Filipino now are more like Taglish.
English.
Yeah, so they combined Filipino or Tagalog words with English because some younger generations don't know already the words for the Tagalog. Yeah, so they just replace with English.
Oh, that's interesting. So for the third question would be, what is the current state of English language in your country right now?
Okay. Currently, I think English now in Philippines in terms of proficiency, I think we are still at par with the Asian countries. But honestly, I think it's more degrading now because younger generation now don't really, not educated enough to do like the basic foundation of English, right? Yeah, because what they learn in social media, what they hear, what they read, they really adapt. So sometimes they don't really speak correct grammar. They don't know how to use proper, or they don't know how to construct proper grammar in English. Yeah, so I think unlike before us, it's really like you need to learn everything from school. So school really follow the curriculum. Teachers make sure that they follow the lesson plan. Now some people like they hear in social media or they hear online, so they might adapt. And then if it's not right, then So especially like some, just as long as they can put some words right and then it's understandable, then it's good enough for them. But I'm not sure now like how their English like technically the proficiency is, if it's still there or like something that the government in the Philippines should be concerned already. Because I see really that younger generations now, even when they post online, there are some really like need some corrections, need something wrong with the construction, with the grammar. Yeah.
So like for the younger generation, they don't really know how to like construct standard English.
Yeah.
I get that. So for fourth question is, how do you feel about the expanding influence of English language in your country?
Okay. I think ever since we all know that Filipino, like I think around 14 million people speak English in the Philippines. So whether you are professional, you are in the service industry, or you don't really attend school, right? I think Filipino can speak, or majority of the Filipino can speak English based on mostly now TV, because TV program in Philippines also got English. So we have English only news reports. We have Filipino edition of news reports. Yeah, so from the TV alone, they can learn already. And then now, like I said, there are variety of sources online or apps now that you can learn English. So I think that's the influence, like mostly in technology also, like making available to public that yeah you can learn more, not only in school.
That's good. So that's mean like you feel like English are now more can be accessed by everyone. It's
Yeah.
accessible. So that's good. So for my fifth question is for example in our country Malaysia, I don't know if you know the word terror.
Mhm.
Terror we use is supposed to be as someone who good at something. Like for example, in the sentence terror lah kau ni. So the word are different in English.
Mm.
The word terror is means something to be scared of, something you fear. But in our is something really cool. So
Yeah, so it's like word English, but to give a different
Yeah.
meaning based on your local.
yeah.
Uh,
So my question would be, can you give me like a 3 unique vocabularies that only your people, Filipino, can understand, but our Malaysia probably would never heard it before?
should it be English or like
I think it can be like
our local terms also?
It could be like anyhow like unique vocabularies.
Okay. So one I think of example, I think one common is like for the FO, yeah, FORDA.
Oh,
So
for the-
basically it's like for the and then blah blah blah. Like example, we are doing this interview for the curriculum or for the subject. So yeah, so we make it like instead of for the FORTHA,
So
then
it's
we
like
just
for-
shortcut it. Yeah,
Oh,
FORDA. So like for
it's
the
for the
yeah
for the
yeah
so
yeah
you
for the
shortcut.
yeah. So
That's
we just
interesting.
shortcut. Yeah. So like example, yeah, we let's go to the party for the picture taking or for the attendance. Yeah. So it's instead of like yeah we and sometimes also like we use like for the if you as a person, right, if you want to take selfie more, so we maybe we can use like this person is like for the selfie only,
For the self.
like that. Yeah.
For the that's I think I can use it with my friend.
Yeah,
Let's go for the Okay, so how about the others two vocabs that you can think of?
some now like they call me
Meh,
like yeah, like like it comes from the word mommy,
mommy,
but yeah, so they shortcut it to me, like but it's spelled as MHIE.
MHIE. Oh,
Yeah.
meh.
So that one refers to example if you are super close, right? And then yeah, because I think last time if you are best friend, right, they call you BFF,
Yeah.
and then bestie, and then there are some new generations now like they call each other mommy or something, but they are just friend. And then instead of calling mommy like me, so now if you and Asika are close friends, right? So you can call each other
Yeah.
me.
Meh.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that's how they
Asika, meh.
use. Yeah, so that's how they call it. Yeah, me like where are you going like that. So that's how they use the word me now. So that's two. Example, when they okay. Okay, another example is like we use the word mayor,
Mayo.
mayor,
Mayor.
mayor, yeah, MAYOR, the official, right, the city official. So usually like that one refers to like somebody like the boss or somebody who will treat like the gang or I mean your group. So example, right? Like if we go together for lunch out, then then I will be the one treating you. Then my friends will say, "Hey, Mayor," like so it's like I'm the in charge of the group today, so I will treat you. Yeah, so that's yeah. So like you are the boss today. So yeah, so literally it's like the boss.
Oh, it's like the
Yeah.
leader.
Yeah.
Mayor.
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes they say like, Mayor, do you have some ice cream there? Like, yeah, for the whole gang, like that. So yeah, I think they replace it with boss right now. They call it mayor.
Oh, that's really interesting. I think I
Mm.
will someone.
Yeah, there are really a lot of Filipino lingo now, especially like modern days, and also some influencers, right? Yeah, there's a lot.
Okay. So for that was the last question. That's the ending of our interview right now. I really appreciate your time to asking all these questions to gain our knowledge in how English are in Filipino, and I hope we can have this kind of conversation again in the next future.
Sure, you're always welcome. Maybe I will share more lingo with you offline later. Yeah, so you can check. Maybe you can use.
Yeah, sure. I will use it with my friend.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alvi. And that's the end of our conversation, of our interview. My interview background is a Filipino couple named Aldemar. He 34 years old currently, and his nationality is Filipino. He stated is a full-time worker. He's work in IT support in OCBC Bank in Malaysia. He spoke Tagalog and English. For the first question is, can you provide a brief history of the English language in Philippines country? Philippine country come from American due to American colonization of Philippines in 90s to 1940s. They started to teach English in school during the time, and it started to become a part of school curriculum to teach other subject in English in the 1970s. And they too have to learn both Tagalog and English. For the second question is, how has the English language developed over time in Philippines country? His opinion is English language developed over the time on how it being learned, on how it being studied. So compared to old days, back then the sources are limited. They just have a printed like dictionaries and research book to learn English. But nowadays, as the internet being exists, the younger generation learn English through social media and through TV program. So their English are much more variable and much more easier to learn. For the third question is, what is the current state of English language in the country? The majority of the Filipino can speak in English. It just, in his opinion, is degrading for the younger generation, as they don't really know how to speak a proper English, and sometimes they don't even know a basic grammar and vocabularies. So that sometimes it's hard for them to communicate with foreigners. Question 4 is, how do you feel about the expanding influence of the English language in Philippines country? You feel proud that 40 million Filipino can speak in English, and he liked that right now English can be accessed by anyone to learn, and it's not the same as back then where they have to go out their way to learn English. So he feel the younger generation have it easy nowadays, and they should become more better in their English. The 3 unique vocabulary that only Filipino can understand but not the others is, there's 3 Filipino lingo that being created by the younger generation, which for the first one is the word me. It's spelled out M-H-I-E, but it pronounced as M-A-E. So me is a word come from the word mother in Tagalog, and it being used as the nickname for friends, and they basically calling each other me for too significant that they are best friend. May. For second is mayor or boss. It's mean the oldest of the group. It doesn't mean that it's the official leader, official boss or mayor. It could be someone that elder than you. So you can call that someone mayor or boss to show out the closeness, even though being the superiority and the junior. For the third is a short form for the. They short form it to for the. So, for example, when I doing this interview, the interview for the subject of varieties in English language. So it's just a short form, but the meaning is still the same. It's just the spelling is FORDA, for the. From what I have researched is the spread of English language in Philippines. The majority of English language can speak English because of social media and education. Even the elder who have no resource back then still can speak English more fluently. Meanwhile, the younger generation don't really know how to construct a normal English grammar. Because they learn their English from social media, and the English there are not the proper standardized English. And even the spread of English have an impact on Philippine entertainment industry, since Philippine Media Corporation have a TV channel that just having a English show talk. So you can say that English has been a part of Filipino life. They learn it as a second language, like as Malaysia. So for the last research is English as lingua franca. We have been know that English has been a bridge of communication to two people that doesn't really speak each other's first language. So most people use English to talk about business or talk about casual. And basically English in Filipino are such a helpful to talk and understand while communicating with foreigners, as not many people know Tagalog. And it's useful in terms of academic, as they learn it from kindergarten to college level, and entertainment, since there's a lot of TV show in Philippines that is just full on English. And tourism, since many people love to go to Philippines to travel for holidays, English have been a very good communication tool for them to know about Philippine culture.
Hi, I'm Danish, and I'm going to cover varieties of English in the expanding circle country of Egypt.
Okay, hello, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
So much. Now, first of all, I would say thank you so much for your willingness to help me complete my assignment. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's go to the first question. Can you provide a brief history of the English language in your country?
Well, English language just appeared in my country as a reaction for the market need.
I see.
So unlike Morocco or Algeria, Tunisia, such countries have been colonized by France. Therefore, the French language affected their language and their tongue a lot, in a way that it can be replaced the Arabic language. But what happened in Egypt, that we were colonized by UK, but we didn't have that influence since that time.
The next question, how has the English language developed over time in your country?
Well, the evolving happened due to the market need, but before that, it's happened because some of the wealthy families were sending their daughters or sons to study abroad. So they started to learn English, and by that it starts spreading inside a small community in Egypt. But after that, the real evolving happened because of the market need. As you know, the English is a global language, and you might need it to communicate with other people. So we started to learn English through in the school first, and after that in the university. And lately, we started to teach our kids English through kindergarten.
All right. For the next question, what is the current state of the English language in your country?
Well, you can say, I won't say it's a peak, I won't say it's a big influence, but you can say at least 60% of the people who are well taught, they can speak in a different level.
Now, for the next question, how do you feel about the expanding influence of the English language in your country?
Well, in that point, I will speak about the influence in the whole region, not only Egypt. I think we should use English as a tool, not as a target. But the English is a way to communicate, not a way to show that we are wealthy, not a way to show that we are from different level of luxury life or something like that. So most of the supermarket or the shop, they are using English names, which is strange. We are still in our country, so it's supposed to be Arabic name. I don't mind to use English names, it's okay, but we have to preserve our identity, to be more proud of our language. So I guess the influence is good, but some people, they are using that influence in a bad way. We need to just remember that it's a communicating tool.
For the last question, for example, in our country, Malaysia, we have the word terror, which is supposed to mean something that extremely scary, but we use it as someone that is good at something. Do you have any kind of like 3 unique vocabularies in your country that people, only people in your country understands what it meant?
Well, we don't have that much close conflict as for example, the example that you have given. We don't have such thing, but we have a specific word that only Egyptian or only some people in a specific area can understand. Contradictions, some of these words are very authentic Arabic words, like they are really very traditional, very original Arabic words, but the people are not using so often. That's why they don't understand it. So you can say that it is the authentic Arabic is preserved as a variety area to another area, but we have some words like mostly it's mixed with other language, Italian, English, French, that not all the people can understand. So I cannot give you an example for that because we don't have a clear example as what you said in Malaysian language.
Okay. All right. That's all for our question today.
Before we begin, let me briefly introduce our interview's background. His name is Ahmed. He is 30 years old and he was born and raised in Egypt. Currently, he is working as a full-time engineer. He can also speak both Arabic and English. For the question 1, based on the respondent's insight, the spread of English in Egypt contrasts with the North African countries like Tunisia, Morocco, and Algeria, where French influence stemmed from colonization. In Egypt, English gained prominence primarily due to economic demands rather than colonization by the UK. Unlike French, which left a deep linguistic imprint in North African countries, English arrived and expanded purely as a language of commerce and education, responding to the market needs. For question 2, reflecting on the respondent's perspective, we can conclude that English in Egypt has evolved significantly over time, initially driven by wealthy families sending their children abroad for education. This early exposure contributed to its adoption among elite circles and gradually filtered down to wider usage in small communities. Today, English is integral to Egypt's educational system, being taught from kindergarten to universities, reflecting its importance in global communication. For question 3, considering the respondent's viewpoint, English is not considered a dominant linguistic influence in Egypt, though a significant portion of well-educated Egyptians, approximately 60% of them, are proficient in the language. For question 4, in response to the question about feelings towards the English language influence, views on English in Egypt are nuanced. While it is valued as a practical tool for global communication, there is a significant concern over its potential impact on cultural identity. The perception of the trend where Arabic names of businesses and products are replaced with English ones, raising questions about preserving linguistic heritage and identity. Despite these concerns, English is generally seen as beneficial if used correctly, emphasizing communication rather than social status. For question 5, considering the respondent's perspective on Egyptian Arabic, unlike some cultures with distinct local slang or expression, Egypt does not have vocabulary that's completely unintelligible to outsiders. Egyptian Arabic, the predominant language, has been influenced over time by various languages such as Italian, English, and French, which have subtly shaped its words and phrases. While specific examples weren't provided, Egyptian Arabic reflects this historical blend rather than having distinct, exclusive linguistic features. Now let's move on to the spread of English language in Egypt. Unlike countries colonized by English-speaking powers, Egypt's adoption of English primarily stems from economic and educational needs rather than historical colonization. This integration is driven by global market demands and educational opportunities. The English language has become deeply integrated into Egyptian educational system, from schools to universities and even kindergartens. This integration reflects a strategic response to global educational standards and the need for proficiency in a globally recognized language. Fluency in English has become a marker of social and economic status in Egypt, with a significant portion of the educated population being proficient. This proficiency further enhances opportunities for higher education, employment, and international engagement. For the English language as lingua franca in Egypt, English is a crucial tool for global communication. It facilitates interaction across various sectors, such as business, academic matters, and other important things like tourism. Its widespread usage as a lingua franca enables effective communication between people from different linguistic and cultural backgrounds in Egypt. This indirectly fosters collaboration and exchange of ideas on a global scale. Thus, as a lingua franca, English facilitates practical communication and promotes global understanding and cooperation across borders.
Hello, my name is RAZLI, and I'll be covering varieties of English in expanding circle country, Thailand. Hello.
Hello.
My name is RAZLI, and what about yours?
Oh, my name is Linda. Nice to meet you.
Okay, nice to meet you too. I'll be asking you 5 questions about the English language on your country, which is Thailand. So I'll be starting with the first question. Can you provide me with a brief history of the English language in your country?
The English language was first introduced and used in the reign of King Rama III in around 1824 by an American missionary whose aim was to evangelize Christianity in Thailand back in the day.
Okay. And the second question. How was the English language developed over time in your country?
English in Thailand developed due to increased contact with Western powers in the late at 19th century. So today is widely taught in school, essential for accessing high education and job opportunities.
And the third question, what is the current state of the English language on your country?
The current state of English in Thailand is different, depends on different segment of society. So in urban area in Thai tend to have higher proficiency levels, and while in rural area in Thai may have lower level of English proficiency. Yeah.
How do you feel about the expanding influence of the English language in your country?
I think it's good for Thai people that they will able to communicate in English language with foreign people like from America, from French, from Europe. Yeah, it's because people can understand each other more without barrier language. Yeah, it's so more easy to communicate with each other. Yeah.
Very true. Okay, for the last questions. For example, in our country, we use the word terror as someone who is good at something, even though the word terror means extreme fear in English. Can you give me 3 unique vocabularies that only your country understands but other people don't? And when is it suitable to use it?
Oh, okay. So in Thai, we have 3 words that pop up in my mind. So the first one is called ngon. It's meaning for the sulky feeling toward someone because of their action, like you're doing something that not so uncomfortable for someone, and they're like, I don't feel like it. Like, I don't feel so okay about it. So those words is usually used in sentence with friends, people in relationship, with family also. And when we say ngon, it can be like to please someone in the more cute way, because how to pronounce the words it's sound more cute for Thai people. Yeah. So that's the first word. So the second word in Thai that I can't think of is jing jing. So the jing jing is meaning for something that's to be more serious. Like they can use this word behind the end of sentence to make it more reliable and to be more trustful, more serious for the listener. Yeah. So that's the second verse. So the third one and the final one that I can't think of is sabadi. Sabadi is mean that yeah, I'm fine, and they can be used in the sentence like greeting with people when they are first meet, and maybe in the usual way, like you going to school, going to work, meet with people, something like that. And it can be also be used in the other language, like in Laos, they also use sabadi to greet with each other in Lao language too. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, I think that's all the questions I have for now. That means this is the end, and I'll be thanking you now. So thank you so much for answering my questions about the English language in your country. So yeah, thank you, Linda.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate.
But before that, let me introduce you to my interviewee. Her name is Linda. She's 19 years old. She was born and raised in Thailand. Her current status is a part-timer, and she can speak English and Thailand. Let's move on to the first question. Based on what we got during our interview, English was first introduced and used in the reign of King Rama III back in 1824 until 1851 by an American missionary whose aim was to evangelize or spread Christianity in Thailand back in the day. On to question 2. What we got during our interview is that English has developed significantly due to increased contact with Western powers back in the late 19th century. Nowadays, it is widely taught in schools and essential for assessing higher education and job opportunities. For question 3, in Thailand, urban areas, mostly packed with those who are rich and educated, tend to have high proficiency level due to accessibility to education. Meanwhile, those who live in rural areas are more likely to have low proficiency level due to inaccessibility to education. For question number 4, my interview thinks that it's beneficial for Thai people to be able to communicate with foreigners using English. She also mentioned that if people could speak English with one another, maybe they could understand each other more if there are no language barriers separating them. And for question number 5, there are 3 unique vocabularies according to her. The first one will be ngun, meaning a sulky feeling towards someone because of their action. The second one will be ting ting, meaning for something that's to be serious or emphasizing the seriousness of something. And the final one will be sabai, means that you're fine, as in being healthy or maybe greeting someone for the first time in a day. Onto the spread of English language. In the beginning, it was mostly used as a language that was used to spread Christianity by an American missionary back in Thailand during the reign of King Rama III. Eventually, it becomes the country's primary foreign language after years of contact with Western countries such as British and America. Nowadays, it opened more opportunities for Thai people to study abroad as well as do international business with other countries that are in contact with Thailand. As for English as lingua franca in Thailand, English plays a crucial role in communication with foreigners, thanks to Thailand being a popular country for tourism in Southeast Asia. Thailand also incorporates the use of English in some parts of their life, such as business, tourism, and education. The use of English all over the country has led to some improvements within the country, thanks to help from other countries that came to a mutual understanding using the English language as the bridge to connect them with Thailand.
So for the similarities, all of these countries have their own lexical. For example, would be India. Bungalow, a huge palace, is pronounced as Bangla. Also, English was brought into their countries by outsiders, for example, colonizers or foreigners.
For other similarities are, most of the country use English as a communication tool. Statistics also show that there's a large percentage of people who can speak English well in each countries.
Now let's move on to the differences that we have analyzed throughout all of the interviews conducted. Most people learn English from institution, but there are also some countries who learn English outside of the classroom. For example, in India, they learn in social media or the internet.
Next, not all countries were colonized by any Western countries such as America and British. Some of them learn English from foreigners who travels to the place, such as Thailand, who has never been invaded before, but the English was spread by American missionary. And the last one will be is that some interviews show concern about the development of English, while others show gratefulness because of English. They are getting more opportunities from job and education.
In conclusion, this test enables us to learn about the history and development of English language in different countries. We have gathered lots of information and dived deep into this topic, which gives us the opportunity to acknowledge the importance of English language in the modern world.